I have a dream that young boys and girls from the shores of Savannah, Georgia, to the streets of Atlanta, to the shores of Baltimore, Maryland, all the way to the Smoky Mountains of Nashville, Tennessee, will all join together in one rap, in one unity, and one show. This is the Rap Game. Let's get it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
You think living my dream came overnight, baby? Like I ain't a chicken wings
over rice, baby.
I just need me somebody
We
to
did see Fab
right here.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
we seen Fab on this episode of the Rap Game
Happy New Year to you.
because we're back.
We are back. Don't call it a comeback. Just call it the season 3 premiere. It's the Rap Game after show on AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Joshua Johnson. Joining me to the left is Mr. Be Your Own Dad himself.
You already know, man. Joshua, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Jimmy V. Twitter, Instagram @Be Your Own Dad. But guess what? We're back in action. It's season 3. First episode recently dropped. If you guys haven't seen, JD came through and showed us love.
Came through. Make sure you check out that episode. We filmed it last week. It's live now on the site. It's live on YouTube. It's live as a podcast.
Yeah.
Check it out. It was a good interview.
He was cool too.
It was really cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting him to be bougie, but he was just like, "What's up?" Blah blah blah, bam bam bam, and he kept it moving. So
yeah,
he was
a
dope.
man's man. He was all about educating the kids, getting them educated on just the rap game in general, not just coming here to get a chain and make a name for yourself, but to really talk about how the kids should get some education, how the old heads should kind of educate the young kids on their rap lineage.
And I thought that was important because I had a few people reach out to me like, "Hey Jimmy, I saw that interview and we like that JD is doing this to educate the youth," because the youth, they came up when the rap game, it's not as raw as it used to be. Like, I'm talking the 90s. I'm talking about inside the Bronx. I'm talking about where it all started. Now it's all about the turn up.
Dance moves, the turn up, you know, mumble rap, what they call it.
Mumble rap. We know a few rappers out there. I ain't gonna say no names.
Oh man.
Rocking ski masks to interviews.
Oh,
I don't know if
you don't have to say no names. I know exactly who that is.
Okay.
But happy MLK Day to you guys out there. We know you didn't have school. We know you didn't have work. So there's no excuse not to be watching this right now here on AfterBuzz TV. We're gonna go right into the episode. Season 3, episode 1. We are back with a whole new cast of young rappers. I'm telling you, from Baltimore, Maryland to Reading, Pennsylvania. We got Georgia in the house, Nashville, Tennessee. Let's start off with the rappers' intros. First off, we got Renata introducing herself, 15 years old from Baltimore, Maryland. What's your first impression, Jimmy?
I think she's dope. She's got attitude. She's competitive.
She does have attitude.
She's ready to come with it.
Yeah, she is.
Little backstory. I've got a friend from Baltimore, and he actually reached out to me like, "Hey, you do the rap game show, blah blah blah." My boy, which is Platinum J, her manager, said her sister's on it. So I was like, "Oh snap, that's crazy." So we're gonna definitely have to reach out to her. Get her on the show. What'd you think of her, man? I
think she was really cool. She was really genuine. She was excited. One note I have is that when people walked into the house, she was very excited about who was walking to the house, right? She didn't throw any shade. Right. She was all smiles. Nova walked in. She walked in first. Nova was introduced. She knew Nova from Instagram. They dapped each other up. They were genuinely happy to see each other. And you could tell she's got an edge to her. She's got that fight in her. She's from Baltimore.
You need it though.
Shout out to Lil Key, last year's runner-up. Was he runner-up?
Runner-up. He's been killing the game still.
He has been killing the game. Go check out his Instagram page, by the way, Lil Key.
Yeah.
Check him out. I know some of his management sends me little videos on Instagram.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So check him out. So yeah, we have Baltimore, Maryland represented. Next we have Nova, who walked in with a swagger.
I rock with Nova. Man.
Wait, are you saying that? That's what you got from?
I'm not saying
from the jump.
I ain't gonna say right now, but Nova, he's got that ladies man type of mentality. He said, I don't go after the girls. The girls just happen to come to me. Remind me of a young me. But
hablo español.
Hey, he's got that going for him, and he's got the bars too. Energy as well, which is very important.
Energy, bars. He's got the looks. And he's got a little extra. He's got a manager who kind of vicariously lives through him.
Low key, I don't like that.
which should be interesting as we go on in the show, how that plays out in the upcoming episodes. But his manager is his uncle Echo.
Yeah.
And Uncle Echo had a little career back in the day.
A little something,
which it popped off a little, maybe in and around Reading, PA, but didn't really jump to the national scene. But definitely he will admit that he lives vicariously through.
It's good because Nova's got a mentor. He's got someone to turn to. Maybe he doesn't know a whole lot, but it's someone who's already gone through the steps that he's gone through.
He's been there.
The question is, when Nova starts to kind of, blow up, he starts to get more of the exposure, which we might even see later on in the season. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Make sure you guys comment and join in, of course.
Yeah.
But when things start to get more big, we'll see how he lives vicariously through him, how that affects him.
And we'll see a little later in this episode, too, how he kind of lived vicariously through him. But next up, we got Flau'jae, who was the daughter of the rapper Camouflage, who had a deal with Universal Records back in the early 2000s.
Back in the
Camouflage, big on the Savannah, Georgia scene, big in the ATL scene. He was coming up-and-coming rapper. Unfortunately, he was murdered. But before he was murdered, he had a daughter, Flau'jae, who is now following his footsteps. And as a lot of people say, have been telling her, big shoes to fill. So she's 12 years old, repping Savannah,
Youngest
GA.
of the crew.
Youngest of the crew.
Youngest of all the contestants there. And yes, she does have big shoes to fill, but I don't think personally she needs to worry about that now. I think she should worry about working on herself, getting her skills down, and start off running good. I do understand your pops, a big name in the game, but I think filling those shoes will come later down in the career. Definitely focus on yourself now.
Yeah, and let's see maybe how she can use maybe the motivation from not having her dad with her. Let's see if she uses that in the future. But definitely one to take a look at as we go forward.
What do you think of her rapping skills so far that we've seen?
Flau'jae?
Yeah.
I thought they were okay. I've got nothing great to say about it. Nothing bad, but just so far, okay.
We'll dive into it.
You got something?
Some more. Yeah. Okay. I got a little something, but next up, who we got?
Next up, King Roscoe.
Hey.
Representing the home team, ATL. There's always a rapper from the ATL, it seems like.
What are you doing, JD? There always is somebody from the ATL representing, huh?
He's got to do it. The mayor of the ATL, making way for the young king of the ATL.
Yeah.
13 years old. King Roscoe, his mom, DJ, is his manager. And I got a comment from someone I know that this kid looks like Lil Urkel. What do you think about that? What do you think about that in the live chat?
I mean,
he looks like Urkel, and I can see the resemblance a little bit. He's got the nerd swag going on.
Right.
He plays that well. He had a song about making all A's. So definitely bringing the positive to the kids.
Yes, and that's what he's got. Right now, he's got the attention of a group of people that aren't paying attention to everybody who wants the hardcore bars, whatever the case.
Bars that turn
he's got I'm talking smarts, I'm talking education.
Yeah.
What he's done is he's separated himself from everybody else and made his own lane, and ultimately I think that's what's going to help him out.
This is the kind of kid who you feel like you could share a high C with, and just talk about your math homework a little
Kick
bit.
It at the bench,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can have a good trade at the lunch table. He might give you little gushers, and you can trade your your Hershey bar.
Right? Watch out now. He's smart, so he might get 2 Hershey bars in the meantime. So you never know.
He might just
never
do that.
know.
He reminds me of Lil Poopy though. What do you think about that comparison?
I don't know, man.
You don't see that one?
Lil Poopy, man, Brock didn't stand up one time, Lil Poopy got that little edge to him,
Poopy does have the edge, and
he's
he wasn't
a bad
talking
boy.
about,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Poopy wasn't talking about, turning up in school, but more like turning up in the strip club.
In the streets,
at 12 years old. But I think maybe I'm just seeing like he's kind of like the younger one. He's really, he's the young boy.
Yeah.
I think from that standpoint.
Which too, shout out to Lil Poopy. He's been on his grind too. See, that's what I like about the rap game thus far. Every contestant we've actually had a chance to speak to or talk about, they continue to grind. They continue to build their name, and they're continuing to drop tracks, which is going to ultimately help out their career.
And I think that's key, is you have to be consistent and you have to keep at it.
You got to.
You know, contrary to what these kids out here might think who are watching this show, you know, success doesn't come overnight. Even
it doesn't.
With social media sometimes. These people have been doing it, building their views, building their fan base, building their SoundCloud, building their social media. And eventually, if they keep at it, they'll have the right opportunity to put them in the forefront, like the people in season 1 have done, season 2, and hopefully season 3.
Just like Fab said in our introduction song, you thought my success came overnight, baby. It doesn't. It's continuous hard work, and you gotta stay consistent. Cause when the people come, you gotta feed them. Plain and simple.
Gotta feed them. Speaking of continuous, we have a surprise. Someone who was there in season 2.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah. Tally.
Tally is back, repping that Nashville, Tennessee. 17 years old now, bringing her manager, who is her older sister, Jasmine.
Her sister,
who's,
yeah.
I think 21.
22, I believe or so, yeah.
Okay. Tally's back, and if you remember Tally from last season, she was the one that was eliminated, I think, episode 1. Forgot her lyrics. JD gave her a chance to get her notebook and read the lyrics.
And she still messed up. She still slipped up.
She still slipped up, even with the notebook in her hand. I think I even clowned her on the show last season.
This time around, though, she throwing the notebook. She's like, I don't need this.
Forget that notebook, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see a little later on how that panned out for her. But Tally is back for season 3. So JD says it's because of the, I guess, the fan demand. The fans wanted to see her back,
right?
And he brought her back.
Which too, if you guys, once again, if you haven't had a chance to check out that Jermaine Dupri interview, go check that out. But one thing he did say here was he does pay attention to what people say on social media, but he doesn't let that influence him on his decision. It sounds like when Tally went home, the feedback was so loud, it actually made him second guess, which brought her back.
Right. And you know what else I noticed is the fact that I never really did see her taking off any of the promotional materials for the show.
True.
You know, when the promotional billboards and I think some of the promotional
That's
internet
right, yeah.
banners. I always saw Tally, and I was thinking to myself, why is she still there when she was eliminated? She was not really a part of the season.
Because remember, there was, 2 other contestants too when they first started season 2.
First season 2, I think there was like a Barbie. Was it Barbie who they said she was out of breath?
That's right. They dropped her, Tally, and I think somebody else. But the point is, you know, maybe this was always in the making.
Maybe so.
Maybe
this is a part of Jermaine Dupri's genius
master plan.
Yeah. But she was back, and the first episode throws us a curveball right from the get-go. Normally these guys go in front of a panel of celebrity judges, you know, ranging from the Brat, Queen Latifah. Who else have we seen? I think T.I. in one season.
I'm having a mind blank now, but yeah.
No worries, couple others. But this time it kicks off with a huge event. It's like a party they're throwing.
It's a party. It's like an after-school special. It looked like.
It's all the way live, man. And it's not only the celebrity judges. We got the Brat. We got John the Don. We've got Brian Michael Cox.
Yes.
We got Zaytoven.
Yes.
Oh my
gosh.
We got in there. We got a couple others in there.
Yeah.
But it's not only them. But it's a room full of kids. It's not even a room. It's like a concert venue full of kids.
Look, I'm from Boston, okay? So we never had anything of that sort up in Boston. So the ATL must be popping. Yeah. Everybody at school must have been saying, "Oh, this thing's about to be lit," blah blah blah, because they was up in there jumping up and down, ready for them.
They were, and the first person that went up, who was like, "I'll go first." Nova got them really hyped,
and he held it down too.
Talk about Nova.
No fumbles.
No fumbles.
No needing notebooks.
No notebooks.
None of that.
He got the girls jumping. He got the whole crowd jumping. Like, no, for real though. Like, Nova went out there and he took it. He was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go number 1. I think that's the best approach to take too in a scenario like that. You just gotta jump in the fire, jump off the bridge, just do it.
Yes.
I think he really hit it out the park, that one.
Which ultimately kind of messed up King Roscoe, because he said, I didn't really want to go after Nova, but I just did anyways, and it kind of affected his performance there, because as he came out, he stumbled at the beginning.
Yeah, he did. It's tough. It's tough going behind Nova, because the way Nova came out, he got the crowd hype.
Yeah.
And I was hyped just watching it. But then King Roscoe came out, and this is his hometown crowd. Don't forget. ATL in the house. These people probably know him. He's worked with Super Peach. He's worked with Mulatto. So I'm sure a lot of these kids know him, right?
Yeah.
But he comes out, he drops the ball a little bit, he fumbles, but I think he recovered pretty well.
He definitely did.
Yeah, he recovered pretty well, I think. So, but he was admittedly nervous. But I think he recovered pretty well. Anything else for King Roscoe? What do you think?
Roscoe came out slow, picked it up, finished off strong, and that's what counts.
Yeah, that's definitely what counts.
That's all.
But then the Flagey, who you had something you had to mention before.
So yes, this is what I wanted to mention about Flagey. I get it. She's just starting off, so I'm not gonna be extra hard on her.
Be extra hard. These kids have to learn.
When she spits, it sounds like she's out of breath. And this wasn't just one time. It was multiple times from the beginning concert to even when they did their thing in front of Fab. So my thing with her and what John the Don mentioned, which we'll get into, is she just got to take her time. I think she's trying to get out too much in one bar.
Yeah. If
she splits it up some, time it out, relax, I think she will have it.
Yeah, keep in mind, though, she's got a lot to say because, she's filling the shoes of her father, Camouflage, so she might feel that pressure.
Yeah.
Thinking that she's got to get everything out.
Right.
Or else.
Exactly. And if you guys, I've got a stutter, so I completely understand about rushing through your words. But I've learned when I take my time, I start to breathe, everybody starts to understand everything that I'm saying.
Right.
So I think that's just what she's got to do, too.
Flagey, take note. The man himself, speaking from experience.
I got your back, girl. I got your back.
That's some good advice, man. That's some good advice. Next up, Nick Nack Tallywhack.
Give a dog a bone.
I don't want to call her whack, but no, Tally went up next. And she told the crowd and JD, like, look, I'm here to get my shot.
Yes.
You kicked me off the show last season, but I'm back to take the throne. This is my time now. What do you think about Tally's performance?
I'm not mad at her at all.
No.
I mean, if I was kicked off the show and I came back, I'm giving JD every 2 words I got, You
would have a chip on your shoulder, right?
She came, no.
No? Oh, no, I'm saying,
no,
I definitely feel
chip.
like she has a chip on her shoulder. That chip being the fact that she was kicked off last show and she's ready to prove herself that, hey, I deserve to be here and I deserve that chain. That's the chip I'm talking about. Like, just that kind of like that cloud over her head that you want to just go for it and win it. Trey in the live chat, I think he's talking about, was it King Roscoe?
I believe so,
saying that he was mumbling. No hate, though, but Roscoe was mumbling.
Understand you there.
Yeah.
And
thanks, Trey. Keep the live chats coming, guys.
One thing with Tally, which we saw as soon as she stepped in to the crib, everybody's already making jokes about her. Everybody's already kind of going at her because she's already been there. So,
and she's low-key failed.
Yeah.
In a sense. Like, she's been there and it didn't work out for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then with that said, I mean, it's at a point where she's got to prove to not only everyone there, but she's got to prove to herself that she deserves to be there. And later on in the episode, we see what she does.
We do see. Good point. She has to prove that to herself. But for me, I don't know. I have a thing about Tally. I know she gets a lot of comparisons to Iggy.
Yeah.
And for me, there's something there that just doesn't seem genuine. It doesn't seem, and I hate to use the F word, fake. And this is no shade to Tally, but it just there's some. I feel like she's hiding something or masking something, and I just want to see the real Tally if we haven't seen it yet. So Tally, I just show me more. Show me more of who you are authentically. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
There's something about her. So we'll see as the season goes. But
I like that.
For me, I'm like. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, okay, why is she back? Why is she back? Why didn't she give another young rapper a chance? She had her chance.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that turns out in the rest of the season.
You just made a good point about being authentic and keeping it real. One thing I've learned about hip hop, when it spreads around the world, like there's people in China who think hip hop is this certain way, aggressive way. You've got to drop the N-bomb 3,000 times in order for it to be hip-hop. But what hip-hop is, it's authentic. It's you sharing your own story. So I think Tally might be mixed up in this kind of, I want to fit this persona type thing of this is what hip hop is instead of being
what
me.
It looks like.
Exactly.
And she wants to fit that.
That's right. So
that's a good
maybe
point.
that's what you're speaking about there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing. And I just want to see who she is authentically. Talk about your experience. Talk about where you're from. Talk about what you've been through. And people relate. You know, I think it's hard enough as a white female rapper. I mean, it's hard enough as a black female rapper.
Right.
And a white female rapper, I mean, especially now with you've had Iggy kind of, her career is, I don't know where it is right now, but a lot of people have laughed it off. So I think maybe she takes that pressure on herself, like, I got to really prove something and I got to be a certain way. Yeah. But Tally, show me who you are authentically.
Let's see it. And keep it real. That's all.
Yeah. Next up at the beginning performance was Deetranada. She was the last one to hit the stage.
She was. And
she went off. I'm telling you, I like this girl. I really do. She has that edge like we talked about in the beginning. She got the crowd going. Yes. And the thing about her, she can not only get the crowd going, but she has the lyrics. Yeah. She has those, and her look is like, it's a non-traditional look. You know, she has a, you know, it's a unique look. And I like it. I'm feeling her vibe. I'm feeling her flow. She went out. And then she even switched up her delivery. And at the end of her bars, she dropped a freestyle.
Why you compare me to kids that don't know how to rap?
Mic drop.
She called out every rapper inside that house.
Every one of them, man. And I think that was a hot line. Because I like rappers who go out there. They know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. They do it well. Yeah. And they throw a little jab in there.
And that's what... That's how the rap game started, Jay. Yeah. That's how battle rap. I'm talking back and forth, boom, boom, boom.
The dozens. I'm coming at you. You coming at me. Let's go.
You think you're the best? I think I'm the best. I'm gonna call you out on your stuff.
I'm gonna call you out on your stuff.
And that's what the rap game is. So that's why I rocked with Deetranada's performance. And once again, I just like her all around aggressive mentality, man.
Yeah, I'm feeling her. Baltimore stand
up. It's gonna be dope. I mean,
two seasons in a row, you got some good rappers. Baltimore's doing their thing.
They are holding it down right now. Yeah.
Hot young talent come out of Baltimore. So the assignment for this episode, first assignment was to write a 16-bar rap to introduce themselves to JD and his special guest. Who was the special guest?
FABOLOUS. Riding. Yeah. That boy Fab, which. He came in there smooth.
He did.
JD.
But Fab was always smooth.
Nice crib.
Nice crib, JD.
Man, he always
smooth.
So,
man. Yeah. Fab is real smooth, but he was a special guest this episode. Yep. And each rapper also gets a mentor to help them get ready for this performance in front of JD and Fab. Yep. So go ahead.
Which I think they set all the mentors up pretty good, actually. I was a huge fan of King Roscoe going with Brian Michael Cox. I don't know if it was the glasses thing. I don't know, but they seem like they just gelled.
But they did gel. Maybe it's the glasses thing, the kind of like unassuming. Yeah. That, the bald head, the glasses. And by the way, shout out to King Roscoe for rocking that bald head. He just brought that to my attention. I didn't even notice that. Bald heads are in, King Roscoe. Keep it up, baby. We're going to bring bald heads back to the forefront where we belong. Where we belong, baby. King Roscoe, we here.
Nova linked up with Zaytoven. I think that was perfect. If you guys don't know who Zaytoven is, look up any song by Future. And look up any song by Gucci, man, who's killing it right now. I mean, Zaytoven. He's been producing for so long, and we were speaking about this with JD. I'm glad he's starting to get the what's the word I'm looking for? The not the credit, but the exposure. You know, the look. This is the person that does this. You know, so at that point, and he gave him perfect advice. Like, look, man, you got the swag. Yeah. Slow it down. Yeah. You got the bilingual, because the way Nova stepped in the booth was hard. You know,
he came really hard and aggressive.
Got something to prove, you know. Yeah. But just like he says now, with the way the rap game is now, you just got to have the juice. You just got to have that confidence to deliver that line, and you all good, man.
You're good. You're confident. You keep your confidence up. Your swag, and make no mistake, Nova does have swag, and I think he should use that to his strong suit, to his advantage. Yeah. He's got the Puerto Rican look. The ladies love that, and he's got that swag. I mean, use it, Nova. And so what Zaytoven said to Nova was, don't rap so hard, be smooth, and come with the flavor and the swag. Yeah. And then what King Roscoe and Brian Michael Cox, we didn't mention the fact that Brian put him on the treadmill. Yeah. Had him doing a little jog, doing a little weightlifting while reciting his lyrics. But ultimately, they told him to cut the rap down. I think it was a little bit too long.
Another example of trying to say too too much stuff in little time.
Right, but you notice the correlation now. It's like a parallel between the two. The two rappers who lost their father are the ones who are trying to say the most.
You know what? I'm glad you actually made that connection because I was actually planning on too. I love how both Flage and King Roscoe, they do come from similar backgrounds, and they've expressed that through their music.
Yeah.
Once again, that's what hip hop is, expressing what you go through, your authenticity. So the fact that they've done that, I'm sure they've been able to touch any other fan out there who's saying, wow, I lost my dad too. Bam, I can relate.
You said it exactly. Revealing yourself, being true to who you are, and you'll always find someone out there who can see your true self.
You
and their
always
true self
will.
matches up with that.
Yeah.
And I think Flage and King Roscoe had a moment this episode where they kind of did connect on that tip. They both lost their fathers. Both never met their fathers, which is, I can't imagine that.
Listen, too, man, being a fan of the show, watching, you know, I've got my own organization, Be Your Own Dad, which is all about turning your negatives into positives, and that's exactly what they are doing. They are taking their experiences and speaking about it and using it as a positive to push forward. And once again, it's real.
Yeah,
it's authentic. Nothing's fake.
Nice little Be Your Own Dad plug. And thanks for having me on the blog, by the way.
Oh, hey, man, thanks for showing love. Of course, brother. Yeah, of course.
Appreciate that. Good point. Tally and the Brat. This was kind of funny. It looks like it took place in the episode of what's the show? Dish Nation, right?
Oh,
the Brat does Dish Nation. It looks like it was in the studio of Dish Nation. Yep. They met up and told her to lose the Iggy sound, the nasally sound.
She needed to hear it.
Yeah, she needed to hear it.
And
she was coming like around here,
and that's what
that nasally.
I liked about the Brat. She kept it real.
Yeah,
she kept it 100. And a lot of times, people always tell you what you want to hear. You don't want to be around yes men. You want to be around people who tell you what you don't want to hear, but is going to help you out in the end. And that's what the Brat did. We've got, I believe, Damon within the live chat said he was hoping that D, a.k.a. D Trinata, would have hooked up with the Brat instead of she actually hooked up with Mike Colombo. That'd have been a good mix-up, too, matter of fact.
Yeah, that would have been a good connection because why do you think it would have been good?
I mean, which we spoke about, D's aggressive. She's got bars. If you look at the Brat's career, aggressive, bars, not afraid to come at people and call people out. So they would have matched up good.
Yeah, and they're two female rappers who, don't play off that sex side so much.
Yes, exactly.
They're not playing that angle. They're just true to who they are and true to their lyrics, true to the game. So yeah, that would have been thanks, Damon. That would have been a good little combination there. But that's not what happened, unfortunately. But and fortunately enough, Tally got a little bit of truth nuggets from the Brat. And but Tally said, I'm being myself, Brat. What else can I be? So Tally is saying that she's being herself. I'm not sure that Tally knows who she is just yet. I could be wrong.
I mean, Tally's still 17, young. I know at that age, I thought I know who. Listen, I'm 25 now.
Yeah.
I think I know who I am, but I'm still trying to figure it out, which a lot of us are going through life. But I think the point the Brat was trying to make is you're not really, all right, the bar doesn't hit great when you gotta go like this because I can say anything like this and I was outside like that and then I went to the store over there. So it's not like you're really rhyming. You're making your
everything
words sound very similar, right? So if you want bars, Jay, I can come through with the K.
Okay.
And I can hit you like, right? So
all day,
you just
every day?
rhyme. I'm not a rapper. I'm a host. I'm just saying.
Oh, man. Okay. Hit him with the bars, the 1-2.
You know?
Oh, man. I like it. So we had the advice from the mentors, which was cool because we haven't really seen that before in the previous seasons, but they matched them up with some mentors. And
which was dope.
It was dope. It was really cool. So after that.
Before D was hooked up with Mike Colombo, just so we wrap up that.
Yeah, and what was Colombo's comments? Do you have any Colombo's comments to D?
I can't think of his comments.
I just his advice was to stay consistent throughout the whole performance. And if people get hyped while you're performing, stick to the script.
Right.
So I'm not sure exactly what he was saying. I liked her performance.
I do understand.
But there's always something to work on.
Based on the fact that when the kids started to jump up and down, D was like, oh, yeah, let me jump up and down too. But at that point, you are on the stage. You are an entertainer. You got to control the crowd. You can't be a part of the crowd.
And they
you
can't
got to
control you.
There it goes.
Control the crowd.
There it goes. Hey, we dropping gems out here.
I'm
so,
telling you.
You know, grab your pen, your pad. I know it's 2017. Grab your iPad.
Open the memo app.
Let's get it.
Phone. Yeah, man, we really dropping today. So the episode then goes into. Where do we go next in this episode?
It
was time. It was
went
time
up
for
to the actual performances. Yep.
Performance time for JD, Fab, and the crew.
Yes, sir.
And so the notes from that. Do you have any notes for that?
Yeah. Fab made a good point. He was like, let me get in my Fab impersonation.
Do it.
Look, I don't need you guys to come in front of my face like you're trying to say something. You know what I'm saying? You could say something and be all the way over there on the couch. I feel you. And he made a good point.
He made an excellent point.
Because, which we saw in season 1 and season 2, everybody, once they saw a big celebrity name, it was Snoop Dogg, you know, they got in their face.
They want to jump in their face.
Right. But you don't have to be up in a person's face for them to feel what you're saying.
No, like Fab said, you can be way over there on the couch. If you got the bars, I'm gonna feel you.
That's
if you
right.
got the swag, I'm gonna feel you. If
That's
delivery,
right. I'm gonna feel you. Yeah.
So you don't. And then first off, Tally jumped right in his face, and she had that, like, what I call a chip on her shoulder because of last season's performance, or AKA failure. She wanted to come off the top and just hit him with the 1-2 and say, "Look, I'm here. I deserve to be here."
Yeah.
What do you think about what Tally did, even cutting JD off and getting right to her performance?
I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't a huge fan, and I'm going to tell you why. She was able to do that because of her situation. But when you bring this into the real world and somebody's speaking and they're trying to instruct the group what you're going to do and you just cut them off and start, that's rude. But I get it. This is a TV show.
Right.
She's got something to prove. I'm sure that looked really good for rating-wise, whatever the case. Okay, I get that. But in the adult world, you got to give respect in order to earn respect back.
Excellent point made. And I think, what if JD would have been like, hold up, wait a minute, and her whole, I think, swag and vibe would have been thrown off, and it would have defeated the whole purpose.
Dropped. Yeah.
So I'm glad that it worked out for her in the sense that she didn't get cut off, and she did what she had to do. She came out, she had a little line where she threw her notebook down, talking about she didn't need it, which was a reference to last season, notebook, which was great. She came out, but I personally wasn't feeling her delivery or her bars. I feel like it was still lackluster. And for some reason, she doesn't rhyme to me. I think her delivery is off.
Like I'm trying to tell you.
I can't gauge her flow where it's at because it just cuts off and changes at different points. For me, I wasn't feeling it, but I'm glad that worked out for her though.
It ultimately did, as we did see the hit list at the end.
Right. After the Tally went up, Flau'jae went next.
Yeah, and you just mentioned that Tally didn't really have a flow. I actually wrote down here in my notes, I didn't think Flau'jae really had a flow.
Didn't get that either. Huh?
I know she's saying stuff, but she, once again, slow down.
It's not much to remember from that, you know?
There really wasn't.
And I think JD had the same notes later on, was that, you know, he didn't get a sense of who she is as a rapper and really didn't remember much from her performance. So that's the notes for Flau'jae. Next, Deetranada went up.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, we both like Deetranada a lot. She's aggressive. She's got the bars. She got the delivery, but she messed up.
Yo, I'm going to come through like this, like, wait.
Yeah.
Like, huh?
What?
Like, you came up with all that confidence, all that swag.
Man.
I'm wait. It's like, come on, son. Congratulations. You played yourself, right?
Oh, man.
But,
I like your, how she do it. Let me do it one time.
She was like, oh yeah, I'm about to do that. Wait, hold up. It's like she forgot what she was about to say. And trust me, I'm not rationing on you because I've been there before.
We've all been there, man. Even live on the
go up
air,
there and do your thing. Yeah, exactly. You know.
Oh man, that was funny how you did that.
But she finished off strong.
Yeah, and JD liked her bars.
She did.
Yeah.
Not he did. See,
he did.
I'm wilding over here.
Next up, the young king, young nerd, young geek himself, King Roscoe came in, and he was the only one that followed the assignment.
Actually, told something about himself.
And I liked it because it was heartfelt. He told exactly who he was. He likes to, do his nerd rap. He likes to get good grades. Likes to go home, get hugs and kisses. Maybe eat a little, look in the fridge for a little Sunny
ice
D.
cream or something.
Ice cream,
like it's a commercial.
Yeah. Listen, we got purple stuff. We got good.
I want that purple stuff.
Sunny D.
Dave Chappelle, people. Dave Chappelle.
So yeah, King Roscoe was really sincere with his lyrics, and then towards the end of his bars, he kind of rapped to his dad, who's looking down on him.
Yeah.
Said a couple bars about his dad, which I think everybody was really feeling. I think they liked.
I thought that was dope. I did think he did mess up right before he started to spit about
his dad,
but nobody really recognized it,
really
which is fine, you
yeah.
know. But I liked it, and he had a good flow. I think out of everybody, maybe besides Nova, which is up next, that he had a consistent flow throughout his rhyme.
Agree with you there. Nova went first in the first performance, but this performance he went last. And he spit a little bilingual flow.
He did.
Came off on the Spanish tip
JD
for the ladies. He wasn't impressed.
He wasn't impressed because once again he didn't say I didn't learn much about you, which was the task at hand.
Right.
But I think him doing the Spanish flow and the other flow was cool. I think it'd have been best if he stuck to one or the other.
I think though the Spanish flow was a little bit about him. He speaks Spanish. He's Puerto Rican. Mm-hmm. I think contrary to what JD said, man, I'm thinking that was who he is. I'm Spanish, so let me get out, and the girls love me, so let me play off on that. But JD wasn't feeling that too much, and he said that he didn't really follow the assignment. So,
I was expecting Fab to respond better to Nova's response. His performance, but Fab was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
because Fab's the ladies'
impress.
man. Yeah, he's the
And Nova said that he was, he thinks that he sounds like Fab, especially that particular those bars that he was spitting at that time.
Yeah.
He thought he sounded like Fab. Let's see what the live chat.
Live chat is going in here. There's a mention of the pop game.
What is it? Oh, like pop music.
I don't know, JD. If you guys did see our interview here, JD did hint that he is doing a new show surrounding pop artists.
There might be something else.
So maybe that's what they're referring to. But if we do find out, we will be sure to let you guys know.
Oh yeah, we'll drop the exclusive. But once again, be sure you check out the interview with JD that we have already live. It was
dope.
It was really dope. Make sure you check that out on the YouTube channel or on AfterBuzzTV.com or on the podcast. Another plug for that JD interview. So we get to the hit list.
The hit list. What'd you think, bro?
This hit list was extremely flawed to me.
Flawed.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling this hit list at all.
The original hit list was number 1, Tally.
Yeah.
2, Nova. 3, D Trinata.
Yep.
4, King Roscoe. 5, Flage.
Let's start from the bottom.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Okay.
Number 5. What'd you think?
I
agreed.
I agree.
Okay.
Number 5, I agree. JD says he didn't remember her rap.
Right.
And told her to tell more about herself in raps.
Once again, she was just out of breath. I couldn't understand everything she was trying to say.
Yeah. Number 4, King Roscoe.
I did not agree.
I did not agree.
Who'd you put?
I think Tally was number 4.
Ooh, I put D Trinata at 4.
Ooh, why?
Yeah, I did.
But she's the one that we like.
The mess up.
That mess up?
The mess up. I like your flow, girl. I like the confidence, but
King Roscoe
you mess up. Not as big. Okay. But as we continue on, my number 3 was King Roscoe.
But the actual, King Roscoe was number 4. JD said his performance wasn't as strong as the others. D Trinata was number 3. So you would have flip-flopped those two.
I flipped them, yep.
D Trinata was 3. JD said she messed up, but Fab liked her, so he put her number 3. And I think D Trinata said that she figured that she would be number 3. She kind of guessed that ahead of time.
Yeah.
That she would be number 3.
Which is actually good, too. I think knowing where you are is always always important. It just tells you yourself that you know what you have to do to get to the next level. So
yeah, I have her at number 2.
D?
I have her up one level, up one step
Oh,
in the
okay.
rankings. Instead of number 3, I have her at number 2. But instead of that, Nova was number 2.
You had no. Oh yes. Nova
Which
was
the real
number 2
rankings.
originally.
Yeah.
My number 2 was Tally.
So you had Tally high like that. See, I had Tally further down in 4, but you have her. Why Tally at number 2?
It was the I'ma come at this full force. It was that. Like I said, it looked good. It looked good for the show. Throwing the notebook, making her presence known. I think that's what earned her number 2 on my spot.
Number 2? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Nova was number 2, and that leaves Tally at number 1. So the comeback queen comes back and takes the throne. Tally was number 1. JD said she made a statement about being knocked down and fighting back.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a comeback story.
Always
she definitely
do.
came back, took the number 1 spot. I don't agree with it, but hey, that's why JD gets paid to do what he
Right.
does.
Yeah.
Because, I'm not in his position. So obviously, I will defer to him. He may know best. I don't agree with it, though. I think Tally should have been further down. My hit list would have looked more like Nova number 1, Deitranada number 2. Then we have maybe King Roscoe at 3, Tally 4, Flau'jae 5. Let me know what you guys think about the actual hit list, my hit list, Jimmy's hit list.
Yeah, which was Nova was number 1, Tally was 2, Roscoe 3, Deitranada 4, and Flau'jae 5.
Yeah, and then give us your hit list as well. Make sure give us in the live chat and in the comments below the video when it's posted. Yeah, that was the hit list. Yeah, I think Tally at number 1, it really throws it off for me. It really throws
I
it
think
off.
a lot of it was gimmicks in this specific episode, just because she did a whole lot of extra stuff to make her presence known, and I think that ultimately affected the hit list. You know.
Yeah.
What do you think about this season? Like this cast compared to season 2 and season 1.
Wait up. Let's talk about it in our AfterBuzz predictions.
Woo! Okay, we can do that up.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay. So, you want to talk about what's coming up in the season, huh? We saw a few celebrity guests in the previews for the upcoming season. Saw Rick Ross, Jadakiss, Kelly Rowland. A lot of high power, star power there coming through this
special
season.
guests, yeah.
JD's bringing them in. I mean, he's bringing some really quality talent for these young kids who are rapping. He's bringing in some people who are really good mentors, people who are doing really well in the game. I mean, these guys are having it handed to them, so to speak. What do you think about that?
I mean, I love the fact that he's bringing in special guests. These are all people I'm sure we look up to rapping wise.
Yeah.
Being these guys are 12 through 17, so being able to even speak with them, get some knowledge from them, that's absolutely great. Like we saw in once again the JD interview, he said Mariah, different big names, they vouched for who ultimately won, which was Monty on season 2. So I think that's another reason why JD is bringing in these special guests, because he wants another set of eyes, another set of ears to get their opinions on. What do you think of them?
Yeah, wise man.
Yeah,
wise man.
What makes them stick out compared to them,
Yeah, the wise man always surrounds himself with other wise people. He's not just going to depend on his own knowledge. But
Agreed.
I like what JD is doing here. I like what you just brought up, the fact that he is bringing in this top name talent to get their take on this talent who's up and coming. And I like it. I like it a lot. And in this upcoming, go ahead.
Which too, all these names, they've been there, they've done that.
They've gone through.
They've got the hits.
Yeah. They're
on the charts.
Definitely.
They've grown on to larger things besides rap,
Right.
So it's not just random people giving their 2 cents. It's people who know what they're talking about.
Right. So what do you think about what's coming up? We've seen a little snippet of the upcoming season. Not too much, but enough to let us know that there's some drama brewing in the house with these young rappers. And I would go so far as to say maybe something with Deitranada. I don't know why they're playing it this way, but it almost seems like, is she unstable?
You know what? Editing, it can paint a picture that's not there.
That's not.
So
You're right
I'm
about
sure
that,
that's
You're
probably they're probably increasing the drama of the episodes. You know, they want people to always tune in. So I completely understand that. I like how they switching up the game and they put an actual rap battle, which JD spoke about. And it's not no cute rap battle either. They're coming at each other. And once again, I'm a huge hip hop head. That's what hip hop started at. I think I'm the best. You think you're the best. Let's go at it.
Right now.
Right now. Right now.
Right now. So do you have anything about what's coming up? Any predictions, any guesses?
Okay, so this is all right. So I'm gonna give you who I think's gonna win off rep. I'm gonna break that
right
to
now.
You
Right
now. Like season 2, bro, it's crazy. I feel like we were just talking about season 2 last week, and we're already talking about season 3.
Exactly.
I was running with B More all season.
Okay.
I mean, I was vouching for him. I almost lost $100. I'm glad we never made that bet. But
are you running with B More?
Ultimately, he came up with the runner-up. I think ultimately developed. She might be the one.
Deetranada?
She might be the one.
Is that your pick?
It's either D or no.
No. You guys did this to me. You can't. One or the other. You can't pick both.
Okay, so right now I'm gonna go with Deetranada.
Deetranada.
Yes.
You're number one.
My number one.
Not Nova.
Who do you think?
I think Nova is the most. Looks like he's the most ready and the most marketable right now. Because Deetranada, I don't know if you remember, she had a great performance, that first performance, but that was her first performance.
Very true.
She hasn't performed yet, so
yeah.
She may have been rapping for a while. I think she's 15. Deetranada, how old is Deetranada? She's 15.
Yep, she's
but
15.
She still has some room to grow. So, oh man, I hate that you picked someone so early. Now I gotta pick someone so early.
You forced my hand.
I like Deetranada a lot. She is probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm gonna go with Nova.
Nova.
Right now I'm gonna go with Nova. But it's only the first episode.
So
we could definitely be wrong.
Hey. Our predictions don't mean nothing.
Means jack.
It's only the first episode. I did want to say, JD made a good point. When he first had Bow Wow was about 12, 13.
Yep.
When he got him at that age, he was able to start to, mold him into the artist that he ultimately became.
Yeah.
Look at the ages here. D's 15, Nova's 16, Tally's 17, Flage and Roscoe 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if he goes the same model route that he went with Bow Wow, he would go with a Flage or a Roscoe.
He's going younger. My pick in that scenario would be Roscoe. There's something I like about Roscoe. I just like
he's different.
He's like this clean cut kid. Doesn't have the edge. He knows his lane.
Yeah.
And he's playing that. And I like it. So he's like under my wing kind of. That's my under my wing dark horse.
Now,
King
if we
Roscoe.
look back too on the So Def roster thus far, we got Monty.
Yep.
And
season.
we have Mulatto. They kind of, I would say they feed into the fly young crowd. Then say if you add a King Roscoe onto that one, he kind of appeals to a different audience.
He's almost like
I don't want this to sound like I'm calling everyone not like smart or something, but he just appeals to the honor society kind of, kind of.
The parents with the bumper stickers in the back of their
There you go. My son made the honor roll, all thanks to King Roscoe.
Kind of almost what Kanye was when he came out in 2004.
When he started.
The college dropout, he had that kind of swag going.
He did.
Backpack and, he with the collared shirts, he was appealing to a slightly different audience.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that turns out.
Now,
make sure you guys, though, tell us who you're picking right after episode 1. From the jump. Tell us who you're picking for the whole episode. Who's going to win it all? What are you going to say?
Now, I can't. I'm talking way in the future because it's 2017. But I think it would be hilarious if we look back on this interview in like 2027 and like King Roscoe is like the biggest name. He's got like 8,000 girls around him, and he's like the best rapper alive. And we're like, back in the day, he used to rap about getting straight A's. Now he's rapping about, you know,
getting straight. Well, never mind.
So I think that would be hilarious. But hey, life goes on.
Life goes on, and so does this episode. Must come to an end.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys check out the interview with Jermaine Dupri that we had. Go look at it, check it out, like it, comment, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Miss Mulatto. Shout out to Monty.
Yeah.
Shout out to the kids on season 3 now.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you. We hope you guys can join us in the studio and on Skype for upcoming episodes. Go ahead, let them know who you are.
It's your boy Jimmy V. You know, Twitter, Instagram @BeYourOwnDad. In my blog, I posted a vlog where I came through and we did some behind the scenes when Jermaine Dupri was there. I posted that on my blog this morning. If you want to go check that out, BeYourOwnDad.blogspot.com, and I'll also be posting this after show there as well, so you can go check it out there. Tune in every Monday. You're gonna find us here. Shout out to Lem, Nino. Hope everything works out. See you guys next week, and you already know what time it is.
You know what time it is. And also, happy MLK Day to you guys.
I'll have a dream.
Much love and respect to Martin Luther King, all those who came before, all those who came after him, for having a dream, for a social change. Let's keep that going. Love trumps hate. We will see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.